Definitely feeling ready to move on from this category. Yeah, there is, I mean, the dragon storyline especially is kind of dark. You're basically being manipulated to hunt down and seemingly kill dragons of knowledge in service of a bad guy who you very much know is a bad guy. Yeah, you get to spend a fair bit of time in the city of Geo in the Jumi storyline, which is pretty colorful. I'm glad that they retranslated that line in the HD version from "It's important to share" to "The streets belong to everyone." Important to share doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Hey, Bareth, welcome in. See the luck. Yeah, I mean, most of the Mana games do have somewhat of a dark storyline, just about basically the power of nature and the world being sought after and stolen by bad people. Not really so much the case in this game, with kind of a bit of the exception of the dragon storyline with the Mana Stones, because the storytelling in this game's a lot more kind of based on individual quests and characters rather than a big grand storyline about the world being in danger. I mean, not to say that the world isn't in danger in the climaxes of especially the dragon and fairy storylines, but you get what I mean. Kind of a weird fight. Hey, Super Vita, thanks for luck. Hey, Patrick, evening, sir. Thanks for the luck. Yourself a nice weekend. Might be starting another run if the first weapon drop pulls me hard enough. Hey, Crimson J. He's ready to sell some lamps. Dub, hey, and Ben, evening, sir. Dub is the correct answer to that question, by the way, too, because it means yes in language of Dudbearer. Hey, Ectopic, thanks for the luck. A nice get cooped. I have pretty close to zero interest in sports ball personally, but I've still had some fun times watching games with friends and family over the years. More for the friends and family part than the game part. No, we've been going for a while. kind of I've increased my or I should say I've decreased my tolerance for bad luck in the early game, because I really want to get a PB and move on to a different category sooner rather than later. So we had to make it to the Bone Fortress before this, but sadly the luck on the second weapon drop wasn't good enough to have a shot at a PB. Sub 21 Fallen Emperor is good enough of a pace for a shot at a 135, which is my goal time. The 1815 that I have on my current PB is just nuts, because I got the first weapon drop first try, which is a 1 out of 8 chance, and then I got very good luck on the boss fight afterwards. So I'm never ever expecting to actually save time till after that point. So keep going for a while, but got basically about another hour or so that I can keep resetting before I either need to commit to finishing a run or not. And I would like to finish the game at least once tonight, so we get to be at about an hour from now. If I still don't have a run going, then let's do a reset run. I mean, some of that is self-inflicted, just because I am using a route that has 2 RNG-based weapon drops in it. There is a route that only needs 1, but it is a couple minutes slower. If the 2-drop route annoys me enough, I might switch back to the 1-drop route, though. Yeah, Zodge. I like to say this is one of the best looking and sounding games on the PlayStation 1. Yep, that's like, yeah, that's a good analogy, actually. Although in that game, the going from 2 rubbles to 1 only costs about 40 to 45 seconds. A little more significant in this game, especially relative to the length of the run, too. Yep, we're getting pretty close. It's the it's the second fight that I do in the underworld is the one that I need to farm the Levantine sword from. Having to farm weapons from through luck is something that's exclusive to Dragon Storyline too. And In the Fairy and Jumi storyline, the route works out that you can actually just buy the weapon upgrades from shops. Let's try doing the fight from the other side this time so I don't get lost in the corner. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it's 1 out of 8, and it's only the night enemy called Darkstalker that can drop it. Yeah, you don't actually get anything just straight up from killing monsters in this game. You have to collect the experience crystals and coins to actually get experience and money from combat in this game. Hey, second try. Right. Alright, we got a run going. Is this a sequel to Illusion of Gaia? Given that the world map gets rearranged at the end of Illusion of Gaia, maybe you could certainly argue that, I'd say. And it was published by Enix, which, well, I guess Enix and Square were not one and the same at the time this game came out, but maybe they were thinking about it already. Yeah, it seems kind of like a weird system, but just leveling up isn't really as big of a deal in this game as a lot of other action RPGs. It's the main thing that leveling up gets you is more health. I mean, it does raise your other stats, but stats in this game just aren't as significant overall as like stuff like equipment and special attacks and abilities. Alright, so it should be maybe like a minute and a half behind coming off the underworld this time, which is pretty good, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's when... Because I know Square outsourced their PC ports around this time, like the PC versions of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, I think were done by Eidos Interactive. Oh, not even a full minute behind. Alright, this is nice. Got a lot more buffer for the Brave Blade drop now. Yeah, Secret of Mana, I think, is a little bit of an unusual case, too, because there's really no way to get money in that game without just killing monsters, because for a lot of other RPGs, the way you get stronger without grinding is just upgrading your equipment, but you can't really do that in Secret of Mana without grinding. Yeah, I do generally prefer action RPGs to being good at them involves being good at dodging enemy attacks. Well, dodging or blocking. That's one thing I like about like the Kingdom Hearts series is that pretty like most of the games in the series you can win most fights in the game without taking a single hit if you're good enough. Like that's part of how it's possible to beat a lot of the games at level 1 in like the 0 XP challenges. Got 3 mini bosses you have to fight to get to the real boss. The first one is the hardest because you start furthest away from them. Interrupting his opening attack is pretty hard. Which is why I don't even go for it. Well, the actual dragon bosses in the storyline I think are pretty epic as far as this like the sprite work and the special attack animations. One thing that I will say is massively underwhelming though is the Mana Goddess, the final boss, because after you go from like the Dragon Emperor at the end of this storyline or the other storyline final bosses to fighting the Mana Goddess, who's the same size that you are. It doesn't have a second form or anything. Yeah, because these wind callers are. I guess that's never really bothered me too much, just because these always just feel like mini bosses to me. I can definitely definitely see the argument for excuse me, for using different music besides the normal boss theme. Same deal for the 3 mini bosses in the final, in the flames, the Dragon Emperor's dungeon. Those ones don't even have the boss health bar too, but they still have the Pain the Universe boss theme. Yeah, agreed, Smelly. Like, it really feels to me like the Mana Goddess fight should have had a second phase where, like, the goddess merges with the tree and then you're kind of fighting the tree itself or something like that. To equip my OSTs. Getting Counter-Strike. Yeah, good choice, the lemon heads. Yeah, part of me has always just kind of wondered if the development for this game got rushed to some extent, just because how kind of incomplete the end game feels. That I actually don't know. Like, Seiken Densetsu 3 Trials of Mana definitely had some development issues, but my understanding has more been that stemmed from just the game being kind of held back by being made for the Super Nintendo instead of for like the PS1. I know there was some issues with Secret of Mana originally too, where it was originally going to be for some kind of CD peripheral for the Super Nintendo. Didn't end up happening. I've not finished any runs yet tonight, but this one got the first weapon drop, I think, second try, so this one's got a really solid chance at PBing, so as of right now at least. Pretty likely I'll finish this out no matter what, too. By the time we get to past the second weapon drop, it's going to really be too late to start over. Yeah. Double special attack. Oh, come on. Guy is nicknamed Akravator for a reason. Yeah, Secret of Evermore remake feels very, very, very unlikely. So Akravator sucked up about 30-ish seconds of my time save here, but definitely still a good pace. Hey, Himleamer, thank you, thank you. Well, Secret of Evermore has some good tunes, but so little of the soundtrack really sounds like music to me. Like a lot of the audio in Secret of Evermore just sounds more like kind of ambient sounds than what I'd consider music. I wouldn't call that a bad thing overall, but in my opinion, at least, it makes it kind of hard to call it a banger soundtrack when a lot of the soundtrack is not really music in a traditional sense. I mean, I don't think they even released Secret of Evermore in Japan. I know it got released in Europe. As far as I know, they never actually translated it into Japanese. Yeah, Star Tropics was the same. Although Star Tropics was made in Japan, but only released in North America and I believe Europe as well. Secret of Evermore, I believe, was made in the United States. If anybody knows differently, feel free to correct me. Hey, Faizu, morning, sir. Nice. That was even faster than the last run. Okay, my movement in the Domina was a little on the sloppy side. Still gonna save a bit of time here. But yeah, it might have been a gold if I'd have had cleaner movement through Domina. That's more or less my understanding too. That Secret of Evermore was kind of made as a attempt to cash in on the good reception that Secret of Mana got in the West. To the Mountain Fortress. Although not immediately, we need to kind of stop and pick up Mambo first. And that's why I have no split recorded for the field trip, because in my PB I actually went directly here. I got Mambo afterwards. I raced it rather than have a fake gold here. Jeremy Soleil or Souls, not a name I'm familiar with. What other What other games did you do? Elder Scrolls, okay. Well, I've not played any Elder Scroll games, so that would explain that. Thanks, LV5 plant. Yeah, I do think Secret of Evermore is a fine game for what it is overall. I'm not the biggest fan of the alchemy magic system for similar reasons to the magic system in Secret of Mana, namely that it's just very, very grindy to level up spells. But just as a full package, I think it's a fine action RPG for its. I haven't played it in forever, though. You know, I rented it several times as a kid. And bought a cart when I was building up my retro game library a couple years ago. But it's been forever since I've actually played it. I'll have to try that out sometime then, Smelly, because yeah, I'm always in the market for good game soundtracks, and especially games I haven't actually played, as far as expanding my library. That was much better than the last one. What does the Evermore Rando randomize? I guess also is it are you just playing through the game with stuff being randomized, or is it change the game like Free Enterprise or Worlds Collide or those kind? Yay! We got not one but two Brave Blades. Alright, we've definitely got a run going now. Yeah, I can dual wield. We just need to become Goro and have 4 arms to dual wield two-handed swords. I'll still menu after this fight. I guess that was the game's way of apologizing to me for being trolled by the Brave Blade drop for so long. See the almighty counter-strike skill for the first time. Very, very good against certain opponents, like Sarah here. Yeah, that is one of the fights where Mambo is generally an asset instead of a hindrance, too. There's a lot of fights where Mambo, the amount of damage that Mambo can actually do isn't really enough to make up for the fact that he can also get enemies into iframes and make your attacks whiff. Both the times you fight Sierra, Mambo's fire attack is actually pretty effective. Yeah, this whole game is cat jam. Yes, me. Or insert jam animal of choice. This particular track always reminds me very, very heavily of the boss theme from Parasite Eve, another Yoko Shimomura soundtrack. I don't have Franker Face Z in my channel or any other stuff like that. Little loop-de-loop I was doing there was to speed up the animation of Mambo catching up. Right there, Mambo made my my two-hit combo work. Mambo chomping down on the experience. First phase was not the fastest, but the second one was alright. Yeah, pretty nice segment overall. I've had both Deathbringer and Jajara go faster, but it's kind of hard to complain about getting the first try of Brave Blade. We got a pretty meaty time save here. Hey, some dude. Oh, I mean, took a while to actually get a run going, but this run's had some pretty good luck where it matters the most. So I pretty much just need to hold it together at this point. Definitely got a shot at 135, which is my goal time. Gold! Mambo number 5. Well, we only actually got to Mambo twice. But as far as just pure resetting, if we go by that, then yeah. The many Mambos. One and only time getting to hear this particular dungeon theme in this category, so enjoy it while it lasts. To hear way more of it in the fairy storyline. But the combat's a little obnoxious here in that it's pretty easy for experience crystals or coins to fall behind foreground objects. Combat doesn't end until either you've collected all of the drops or they've despawned. It's almost always faster to actually collect them. This fight right here, really common for one of the Rabbites to drop something behind that tree. I think my personal favorite Mambo music, though, is the opening credits to Office Space, which I think is called Mambo number 8. It starts by counting up to 8 in Spanish. Good dragon. I always like that line. Like, Lark is having to fight to overcome his natural inclination to pet the fluffy dragon in front of him. It's a good dragon. Sierra was a little bit of a troll, but they lose too much time. We're starting the final quest of the Dragon storyline now, and basically trying to get it out of the way as quickly as possible because of how the game assigns the it's called land level to the flames, the final dungeon when it gets created. Doing it as early as possible makes the monsters and bosses there as weak as possible. That's a fairly significant advantage of doing the 2-weapon drop route too, is because doing the 1-weapon drop route, you have to do more other quests earlier in the run in order to be able to buy a nicer weapon. That translates into the flames. I understand it having a higher land level. I'm trying to muster all of my mental fortitude to actually go take the correct route to get to the boss here instead of the route you take to get to the grinding spot for the Levantine. Or I guess to get to the whatchamacallit, Bullbone's office. Being hungry at 4 a.m. sounds pretty dangerous. Okay, good. I always hope that I don't get a Levantine drop when I have to refight that guy. Just that's the game's way of trolling me if I had bad luck with it before. APX agency. For the most part, I'm glad that they didn't add voice acting to the HD remaster, but I'm morbidly curious what kind of voices they would have given the Shaduls. Because that like some of their lines make it sound like they're singing. Oh yeah, there is an anime currently being made about the Jumi storyline. Yeah, agreed. Darth Plagueis. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me when if you're doing a true remake of an old RPG to add voice acting, but for an HD remaster, just to leave it alone. The original game didn't have it. Alright, no special attacks. Hey, Chuck, you're doing alright? Kind of funny just how little experience Lark the Centaur is worth too, despite being a quote-unquote endgame boss. Hey Kim, welcome in. But thou must chase there. Another Brave Blade. I've got 3 of them now. Actually the way to get to the final boss of the dungeon, but we can't actually get across that pit until we've taken care of 3 mini bosses. Yep, I believe I want to say I got the Levantine second try, and then I got the Brave Blade first try, so definitely got a good run going. Dragon Breath. why we want to try to end the fight as close to the right side of the screen as possible, because I'm having to wait for Mambo. Thanks, Mambo. Micro optimization I recently learned of just doubling back to the door in order to spawn the boss a little faster. Please. And then for the fight with Draconis, the music for that reminds me a lot of the Dark Side boss theme from Kingdom Hearts. Yoshimura soundtrack. a bunch of flying around, but there's nothing I can do about that. And I hit him with my lunging arc, which is the important part. Save a bit of time here. Remember how long the post-Draconis cutscenes take, though? Well, this we'll see after the split, but this feels like 135 pace. Got a bit of time to save on Summer Lovin' too. 30-ish seconds if everything goes well. It's just a strange bug with this particular version of the game where there's 3 dialogue boxes, or, well, boxes. One of them doesn't have a box around it. You actually have to mash to advance. The Japanese PS1 version and then all versions of the HD remaster, all of this is auto-advancing. It's also only the post-Draconis cutscenes, too, for post... Irwin and Lord of Jewels, it's all auto-advancing. Yeah, this is a really cool speed game. In particular because of the routing behind like building your overworld and what order you do the quests in. Some of the combat in different categories of speedruns is more interesting than others. Like, of the runs I've done so far, I think the fairy storyline is the most interesting boss fights as far as the tech that you use in them. It's a little more simplistic in the dragon storyline. It's kind of more just about hoping that the bosses don't use special attacks with long animations, and then just unlock them with power attack cancels. I tied my gold. Nice. I mean, I do wish this game had more like ways to skip like fights and encounters through good movement, like you can do in Leucemia and the fairy storyline. Hey, Rotorstorm, evening, sir. That's one of my favorite things about speedrunning Chrono Trigger is that movement is really, really important, and just being able to skip a lot of fights through precise movement is a really good feeling. I highly doubt it's for lack of effort as far as trying to find skippable encounters and stuff. It's It's a real shame that the battle skip and leukemia got patched out of the HD remaster. I can definitely understand why, though, given that it's a soft lock if you don't realize that you can clip through NPCs. Okay, I was wondering if Mambo was going to kill me there. This is one of the earliest quests in the whole game, and we're doing it while we're pretty over-leveled now. It's just kind of a payoff to doing the 2-weapon drop route. In the 1 drop route, we'd have to do this a lot earlier. Yeah, I think there's a little less dialogue if you give them money, actually. If you can actually afford it, which you can because of how late I'm doing this. If you do this early, you're not going to be able to afford either paying off the Chopin hoods or paying off Niccolo, which also cuts out some dialogue. Oh, nice. Doing beat-em-up runs. that's a natural reaction to this music for sure. In the HD remaster, there's a trophy for stomping all, I think, 32 crabs. Which is much harder to do than it sounds. Oh, you can. Oh, Hager counts. Okay. Good idea. Took a second to realize that we were talking about Full Metal Hager and not Mike Hager of Final Fight, because there was some Final Fight talk earlier. Okay, glad to hear I wasn't the only one. Alright, should save some time here. Hager got a special attack off, but the rest of the fights here were fairly clean overall. Tied my gold. Everything's still okay with the stream. I just got disconnected from my chat for like 30 seconds or so for some reason. Okay, that's good to hear. This was just a Twitch chat blip then. So we've met both of the requirements in order to access the end game, which is to finish one of the 3 major storylines and then have 18 artifacts placed in the overworld. So kicking off the final quest now. Final quests, because there's 2. Hey Jeff, yep, we finally got the robot parts. Got the first one second try and the second one first try. Yeah, I'm playing this on a PS2. Hey Andy, yep. That's a pretty good run going. Just need to finish it off now. And wait for Mambo to comically approach one last time. Dinged a little bit because of that first one of those jellyfish getting away from me, but it's all good. Coming from you, that sounds about as ominous as it gets, but as time will tell. Alright, have a good night, Daedalonus. Thanks for stopping by. Could have gone better. Okay. Die, tree, die. Had 1 HP left after the counter-strike or something. Oh, they can keep queued actions? Okay, well, the more you know. Double Dragon State. Final bless. Nice. We did it! Not a 135, but a 134. Heck yeah. Really good Mana Goddess fight to cap it off, too. Anything that could have gone better was I could have attempted to hit her with a lunging arc when she did that explosion attack, but I really feel prepared for it with the position she was in at the time. Yeah, I'll have to look at the splits once we're done text mashing, but yeah, that was a really good run, where it mattered at least. Yep, we're gonna do Jumi next weekend. I'm not planning to do a lot of Jumi runs, but I'd like to do a couple at a time. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable hitting with lunging arc on that attack if I can get behind her, but if she's in the corner like that, it's pretty dicey. Alright. So, yeah, the only place I was actually behind was after the Fallen Emperor, which is where my previous PB got both a first try Levitine and a really fast Hitodama boss fight. So being under a minute in the red after that is still a really good pace by my standards. Probably the worst bit of luck in this run, I would say, was Akravator. Did like 4 or 5 STs and did his thing about chaining them together. I think I hit him with a cutting bamboo at least, though, but yeah, Akravator ate up like 40-ish seconds, I think, of my time save on the Guardian of Winds. Had a pretty fast Beast Egg catch. I got not only did I get first try Brave Blade, but I got 2 Brave Blade drops from the first fight, too, so maybe that was the game's way of apologizing for the last 3 attempts that got to the Ghost of Nemesis before having my pace die to the Brave Blade. Yeah, just got a pretty fat 3-minute PB. Definitely ready to move on from PS1 Dragon storyline from after this. But yeah, then yeah, pretty much everything after that was pretty solid. Vidis got a teleport off, which that's something I just would need to grind out a lot of save state practice on, I think, as far as just getting a cleaner setup for starting the stun lock on Vidis without giving her a chance to teleport. Yeah, then nothing really jumps out at me. I mean, Draconis flew back and forth several times and did two romping attacks, but I hit him with the lunging arc after the first one, which does quite a bit of damage. It connects. Yeah, I got pretty much my full time save off of Summer Lovin'. Full Metal Hager got 1 special attack off, but not really too much else there. Had kind of a sloppy first fight in the Cage of Dreams. And 1 kind of rough fight on the Mana Tree with the bird and basilisk. But yeah, the rest of the fights went pretty well. The enemies behaved pretty well for getting counter-struck. And yeah, the record is 129 for this version of the game. Yeah, and then again, really happy with that Mana Goddess fight. Of all of the different speedrun categories of Legend of Mana, I think Dragon Storyline has the most difficult Mana Goddess fight, between you having a weaker weapon than other categories, and having a pet that can mess the fight up as far as either getting the Mana Goddess to aggro against it instead of against you, which is a problem when your main source of damage is counterattacking, or like with a lot of other fights, getting the enemy into iframes that your attack whiffs. But yeah, the Goddess only got one special attack off, and like I said, I could have potentially hit her with Lunging Arc, but I didn't feel confident in it with the position she was in at the time, so I just didn't go for it. Probably should have, because I don't really have much to lose in trying for it when she's doing that. But yeah, really pretty happy with this as a whole. Luck came through where I needed it, and by and large I played well where I needed to. So yeah, again, the game plan from here is to do a couple Jumi storyline runs. It's the least popular single story category for this game for a reason. It's got the most cutscenes and text mashing, and you get to fight the same boss 7 times too, in the form of the jewel beasts. So I'm not gonna do a ton of runs, but again, like to do enough to get a okay-ish time. Then yeah, and then after that, I'd either go back to Fairy storyline and go for the 148 or better, or do a couple all storyline runs. All storylines is about a 4-hour run on the PS1. That would be kind of like Jumi too, where I wouldn't really grind it out, but just do a couple runs. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the time difference between me and the record comes from movement, because something I was trying to do as much as possible throughout the run was do what's called wiggle running, which is where you kind of thrash the analog stick back and forth between diagonals, which slightly speeds up your normal movement. And yeah, him Lemur, the record holder, is very, very, very good at that, and it shows in just how much faster his times are than most other runners. Yeah, a lot of that just comes from just having really, really good movement. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was definitely a grind the past couple weeks, but yeah. Feels so good to finally not only get the 135, but get the 134 instead. Yeah, I already have my notes mostly put together for Jumi storyline. I just need to figure out a few things, mostly as far as the route for learning Counter-Strike. Get some practice save states set up and everything. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing some Jumi storyline next weekend. Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunities for micro-optimizations in regular fights too, as far as optimizing like how many of each specific type of attack you use on each monster. That's something I put a little more effort into trying to learn for the Fairy storyline fights than Dragon storyline. Oh yeah, yeah. That's another thing that's exclusive to Jumi storyline is the days of the week actually mattering to. It's for at least one of the quests. Certain events in the quest are only available on certain days. But there's no RNG or anything with that. It's just up to you to route it out and execute it. Yeah, like I already did a full practice run of with my Jumi notes a few like about 2 weeks or so ago, and yeah, I had no trouble. Bye, Mambo. Thanks for the help. I didn't have any trouble at all with the day sensitive stuff. All right, 1:45 game time.